Hello students, today we are starting up with a new topic which is your accounts of insurance companies. First, let's look into what do you mean by insurance. Insurance is a policy, insurance policy. It is a contract which is entered into between the insurance companies which are called the insurer, and the person insuring his risk is called the insured. The policy specifies all the conditions subject to which the policy is issued. These conditions bind both the parties. The policy is in the form of a document which the insurance company issues after receiving premium. A contract of insurance is a contract where a person, in consideration of a certain sum known as premium, agrees to bear the risk or liability regarding property or life of another person in which such other person has insurable interest. So एक इंश्योरेंस क्या होती है कि हम इंश्योरेंस कंपनी के पास जाते हैं. It can be for the purpose of your life insurance, or it can be for the purpose of your general insurance like fire insurance, medical insurance. आजकल तो कितनी सारी different types of insurance policies are available. तो इंश्योरेंस क्या है? वो एक ऐसा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है जो एंटर होता है इंश्योरेंस कंपनी के बीच में और जो पर्सन अपने आप को इंश्योरेंस लेने जाता है उसके बीच में. तो जो कंपनी है उसको हम बोलते हैं इंश्योरर, एंड द पर्सन हु गेट्स हिमसेल्फ इंश्योर्ड इज कॉल्ड एज द इंश्योर्ड पर्सन. सो इन दोनों के लिए एक पॉलिसी जो फ्रेम होती है वो एक डॉक्यूमेंट होता है, और वो पॉलिसी तब एप्लीकेबल होती है जब वो प्रीमियम पे करते हैं. सो इंश्योरेंस में होता है क्या? लाइफ इंश्योरेंस में जैसे कि मैंने लाइफ इंश्योरेंस ली, मैंने अपनी लाइफ पे ली, तो मैं उनको हर साल प्रीमियम पे करूँगी जिसके बदले में आइदर दे पे मी अ फिक्स्ड अमाउंट आफ्टर अ सर्टेन पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, और व्हेन आई डाई, व्हेन आई पास अवे, दे पे दैट अमाउंट टू माई concerned family. So this is what, so for this consideration a premium amount is paid to them every year. So the amount that is paid to the insurance company every year, it is called as the premium. Regulation of the insurance business in India. Earlier it was Insurance Act 1938. अब होता क्या था इंडिया के इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर में? जो हमारा इंश्योरेंस बिजनेस था दैट वाज कंट्रोल्ड बाय द इंश्योरेंस एक्ट 1938. अब तब तक अंटिल द ईयर 1999, जब तक इंश्योरेंस रेगुलेटरी एंड डेवलपमेंट अथॉरिटी IRDA एक्ट नहीं पास हुआ, हमारा इंश्योरेंस बिजनेस प्राइवेटाइज्ड नहीं था. The private companies were not supposed to enter into insurance business. Life insurance के केस में only one company was famous, which was called as LIC, which was formed under the LIC Act 1956. This act, it governs the life insurance business of India right now also. So जनरल के लिए देर वर ओनली टू मेन कंपनीज, एक मरीन के साथ रिलेटेड थी. सो द प्राइवेट सेक्टर वॉज नॉट अलाउड टू एंटर. बट देयर ऑन व्हेन IRDA वॉज पास, द इंश्योरेंस बिजनेस वॉज प्राइवेटाइज्ड एंड प्राइवेट कंपनीज वर ऑल्सो अलाउड टू इशू इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसीज. जैसे हमारी कितनी सारी हैं, वी हैव मैक्स लाइफ, वी हैव रिलायंस की पॉलिसीज. सो दीज आर व्हाट, दीज आर द जनरल प्राइवेट इंश्योरेंस बॉडीज हु आर प्रोवाइडिंग इंश्योरेंस बिजनेस. सो जो वर्किंग है इंश्योरेंस बिजनेस का, इट इज़ रेगुलेटेड बाय द IRDA. IRDA has prescribed in specified formats for preparation of financial statements of insurance business in Part 5 of Schedule A of Insurance Regulatory Development Authority Regulations 2002. Insurance Act and IRDA, they provide legal framework of insurance accounting in India. The financial statements, they are also to be in conformity with the accounting standards which are issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Let's look into the books which are required to be maintained by the insurance company. Under the Insurance Act 1938, it is obligatory on the part of all insurance companies, including the general insurance companies, to maintain the following books, which may be called as the statutory books. So the three main books are the Registrar of Policies, the Register of Claims, and the Register of Licensed Insurance Agents. So the Register of Policies will contain the following particulars in respect of each of the policy that is issued: the name and address of the policy holder, the date when the policy was effective, and a record of any assignment of the policy. The register of claims will contain particulars in respect of each claim, the date of the claim, the name and address of the claimant, the date on which the claim was discharged, and in case of a claim which is rejected, the date of rejection and the ground of rejection. The third statutory book, which is the Register of Licensed Insurance Agents, this will contain the following particulars in respect of each agent: the name and address of each and every insurance agent appointed, the date of appointment, and the date on which the appointment is ceased, if any. Apart from the statutory books mentioned above, the insurance companies also maintain the following subsidiary books for recording the transactions: proposal register, new premium cash book, renewal premium cash book, agency and branch cash book, petty cash book, claims cash book, general cash book, agency credit journal, agency debit journal, lapsed and cancelled policies book, chief journal, commission book, agency leader, policy loan ledger, general loan ledger, and investment ledger. Majorly, there are two types of insurance. One is life insurance and the second one is general insurance. The preparation of accounts for both these types of companies is different. In today's module, we'll be covering the accounting for life insurance companies. What is basically a life insurance company? A life insurance contract is a contract where the insurer, in lieu of a consideration, agrees to pay to the assured or to the nominated beneficiary a previously agreed upon sum of money on the death of the insured or on the expiry of a stated period of time, whichever happens earlier. The consideration is in the form of a premium, which may be either paid in lump sum or through periodical payments. The event which is insured against is the one which is certain to happen. However, the exact time of its happening is not known in advance. Such contracts are called contingent contract. Insurance contract other than the life insurance contract are contracts of indemnity. Due to this reason, life insurance is referred to as life insurance instead of insurance. लाइफ इंश्योरेंस में क्या होता है, हम एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन करते हैं जहाँ पे हम प्रीमियम अमाउंट पे करते हैं. उस प्रीमियम के बदले दैट इंश्योरेंस कंपनी दैट assures us that they'll either pay to the nominated beneficiary whatever is the money decided, or on the death of that person, or on the expiry of a stated period of time, whichever happens earlier. अब ये इवेंट जौन सा है डेथ का, वी ऑल नो इट्स गोइंग टू हैपन, राइट, बट वी डोंट नो व्हेन इट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. The exact time is not known in advance. So they are also called as contingent contract. लाइफ इंश्योरेंस के अलावा जितने भी हमारे जनरल इंश्योरेंस के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स होते हैं, दे आर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स ऑफ इंडेमनिफिकेशन. इंडेमनिफिकेशन का मतलब है मेकिंग गुड द लॉस. दैट मीन्स जो नुकसान हुआ है उसकी भरपाई करते हैं. बट अगर किसी पर्सन की डेथ हो गई तो वो बंदा तो वापस नहीं मिलेगा ना. इसीलिए लाइफ इंश्योरेंस के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को हम लाइफ एश्योरेंस कहते हैं इंस्टेड ऑफ इंश्योरेंस. ये भी रेफर कर देते हैं बिकॉज इट डज नॉट मेक गुड द लॉस. इट जस्ट गिव्स एन एश्योरिटी दैट इन केस ऑफ द डेथ ऑफ दैट पर्सन दे विल पे दैट सर्टेन अमाउंट टू द नॉमिनेटेड पर्सन. There are different types of policies under the life insurance. One is the term policy, which is also called as term insurance. वो एक ऐसा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है दैट फर्निशेज लाइफ इंश्योरेंस प्रोटेक्शन फॉर ओनली a limited number of years. The face value of the policy being payable only if the death occurs during the stipulated time and nothing is paid in case of survival. Second is your whole life policy. Under this type of policy, the insurance amount is only paid in the event of death of the insured or the assured. The premium is required to be paid throughout the life tenure of that policy. Next is your endowment policy. This type of policy provides for the payment of sum assured in the event of the death of the insured person or at the expiry of the term insurance, whichever happens earlier. The premium is only required to be paid for the fixed time period which is mentioned in the policy. Next is your money back policies. Money back policy, they offer periodical payments during the term of the insurance policy. However, this is done only if the insured person is still alive. That means the company will keep on paying periodical payment if the person is alive. In case of the death of that insured person, the claim of money becomes payable. Next is your annuity. This policy involves the payment of periodic money in lieu of the purchase price of the policy for a specified period of time. And one is your unit linked insurance plan, जिसको हम ULIP भी बोलते हैं. It is a type of life insurance policy which provides both protection and investment opportunity. The protection is offered by the insurance cover, while saving is done through the investment of premium money by the insurance company on behalf of the insured. Final accounts of life insurance business. It consists of three main components: revenue account, which is prepared as per form ARA, profit and loss account, which is prepared as per form APL, and balance sheet, which is prepared as per form ABS. Revenue account, it is prepared on accrual basis. Revenue account sets out all income and expenses related to the insurance business. Income includes premium after adjusting reinsurance ceded and accepted, income from investments. Expenses usually include commission, operating expenses, benefits paid, bonus paid, change in the valuation of liability against life insurance, life policies in force. The proper format of revenue account has been sent to you in the notes, which have been shared as PDF in the group today morning. The main terms that are used in the revenue account are: number one, premium. Premium is the main source of income for an insurance company. Premium जो मिलता है, it can be your first year premium, it can be renewal premium, and it can be a single premium. All these premium, they are disclosed separately. The details of this are shown in the schedule 1. Then we have income from investment. वैसे तो एक इंश्योरेंस कंपनी का मेजर सोर्स ऑफ इनकम है फ्रॉम इट्स प्रीमियम, बट दे ऑल्सो इन्वेस्ट देयर मनी. So the investment, the interest or the dividend that they receive on the securities or the rent from the properties that they let out, that is also a form of income for them. Next is your commission expenses, which is shown under schedule 2. अब होता क्या है, कंपनी तो पॉलिसी ऑफर करती है, बट हम लोग कभी भी खुद से कंपनी को डायरेक्टली नहीं कांटेक्ट करते हैं. यूजुअली देयर आर एजेंट्स, यूजुअली देयर आर मिडलमैन. सो वो मिडलमैन क्या करता है, वो मिडलमैन इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू कन्विंस ऑल द पीपल लाइक whosoever they find to take the policy. Like they tell us the benefits, they tell us what can happen with the policy, and they kind of scare us. They kind of try to scare us, to motivate us to take a policy to cover the risk. तो इन एजेंट्स को कमीशन दी जाती है. कमीशन पे करते हैं हम फर्स्ट ईयर प्रीमियम पे भी, रिन्यूअल प्रीमियम्स पे भी, और सिंगल प्रीमियम पे भी. कमीशन इज ऑल्सो पेबल टू अदर इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज फॉर री इंश्योरेंस एक्सेप्टेड. अब री इंश्योरेंस क्या है, मेरे पास कोई इंश्योरेंस आया, मेरे पास इंश्योरेंस आ गया 50 करोड़ रुपए का. कोई कहता है कि मुझे पॉलिसी दो 50 करोड़ की. तो अब मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, मैं 50 करोड़ मैं अकेले से तो कवर अप नहीं कर सकती हूँ. तो मैंने क्या किया, ये जो मैंने पॉलिसी ली थी, इसको आगे किसी और के साथ री इंश्योर करवा लिया. मेनली मैंने खुद बेची, बट फिर मैंने किसी और को भी इसमें, किसी और कंपनी को भी डाल दिया. सो दैट इज़ कॉल्ड एज योर री इंश्योरेंस ऑफ द इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी. तो जो री इंश्योरेंस का कमीशन है, इट इज़ सपोज टू बी पेड to other company for renewable reinsurance accepted, and commission on reinsurance ceded is deducted from the total commission expenses. The net amount is to be shown in your revenue account. फिर है हमारे ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस, जैसे एम्प्लॉयज़ की रेम्यूनरेशन, वेलफेयर बेनिफिट्स, ट्रैवलिंग एक्सपेंसेस, ट्रेनिंग एक्सपेंसेस, रेंट, रेट्स, टैक्सेस, रिपेयर्स, ऑडिटर्स फीस एक्सपेंसेस, डेप्रिसिएशंस, ऑल दैट. फिर हमारा आ गया बेनिफिट्स पेड नेट. सो ये बेनिफिट्स क्या हैं जो हम पे करते हैं? दिस इज़ अ मेजर एक्सपेंस फॉर द इंश्योरेंस कंपनी. सबसे पहला है क्लेम्स अंडर द पॉलिसी. एक इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी जब मैच्योर होती है, चाहे वो उस बंदे की डेथ हो जाए पॉलिसी होल्डर की, या एक एक्सपायरी पीरियड ख़त्म हो जाए, तो जो वो लोग क्लेम करते हैं कि हमारे यहाँ सो एंड सो हैज़ हैपेंड, प्लीज़ गिव अस बैक आर मनी, लाइक वॉट एवर मनी वी वर इंश्योर्ड फॉर, वो पे करना, दैट इज़ योर क्लेम्स अंडर द पॉलिसीज़. एक है एनुटी बिजनेस. एनुटी में क्या है, एक एनुअल पेमेंट गारंटी करी जाती है और पे करी जाती है इंश्योरेंस कंपनी से रेगुलरली टिल द लाइफ ऑफ द इंश्योरर for a specified period in consideration of a lump sum amount that is received in the beginning. So in this case, instead of paying a lump sum payment, जो amount है हम regularly pay करते हैं over a life of over a time span. फिर है surrender value. सरेंडर वैल्यू के क्या है कि एक जो हमारे पॉलिसी होल्डर थे, वो पॉलिसी होल्डर ने पॉलिसी सरेंडर कर दी. They do not wish to take the benefit of the policy further. They are surrendering the policy. They won't pay us premiums on it further. So हम लोग जब सरेंडर कर देते हैं तो कंपनी को, तब भी इंश्योरेंस कंपनी को हमें हमारा क्लेम देना पड़ता है, विच इज़ द सरेंडर वैल्यू फॉर इट. सो दैट इज़ ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द बेनिफिट दैट इज़ पेड. फिर एक होता है पेड अप वैल्यू ऑफ पॉलिसी. जो पॉलिसी होल्डर है वो ऑप्ट कर सकता है कि उसे पेड अप वैल्यू मिल जाए इफ़ ही विल नॉट बी एबल टू कंटिन्यू पेइंग द प्रीमियम्स. अगर वो लोग प्रीमियम आगे नहीं दे पाएगा तो वो कहता है कि मैंने जितना अभी तक पैसा इसके ऊपर पे किया हुआ है, आप मुझे वो पे कर दीजिए. दिस इज़ ऑल्सो शोन इन क्लेम्स. फिर हमारा एक मेन एस्पेक्ट विच इज़ योर लाइफ इंश्योरेंस फंड, या जिसको हम वैल्यूएशन बैलेंस शीट भी बोलते हैं. लाइफ इंश्योरेंस का बिजनेस एक ऐसा है कि जब हमने रेवेन्यू अकाउंट बनाया, द एक्सेस ऑफ रेवेन्यू ओवर एक्सपेंडिचर ऑफ एनी पर्टिकुलर ईयर, it cannot be said to be the profits made. Thus, such an excess is generally placed in a fund to meet such liabilities which occur in the future out of the present insurance policies. This fund is termed as life insurance fund or simply life fund. अब होता क्या है कि जो रेवेन्यू अकाउंट में उसने वैल्यू दिखाई है वो सही मायने में हमारा प्रॉफिट नहीं है, क्योंकि हमें पता नहीं है कि इस साल जो हमने पॉलिसी करी है उसका हमें कब और पेमेंट करनी पड़ जाए, बिकॉज इट इज़ रिलेटेड टू फ्यूचर विच इज़ अनसर्टेन एंड इट इज़ अ कंटिंजेंट लायबिलिटी. सो इसके लिए जो यहाँ पे हमारा प्रॉफिट निकलता है उसको हम एक लाइफ इंश्योरेंस फंड में ट्रांसफ़र कर देते हैं. फिर है हमारी एक वैल्यूएशन बैलेंस शीट. जो बैलेंस दिखता है लाइफ इंश्योरेंस फंड में, इट कैन नॉट बी टेकन एज अ प्रॉफिट फॉर द लाइफ इंश्योरेंस बिजनेस. सो इन ऑर्डर टू असर्टेन द प्रॉफिट, द इंश्योरेंस कंपनी शुड कैलकुलेट इट्स नेट लाइबिलिटी ऑन ऑल आउटस्टैंडिंग पॉलिसीज. जितनी भी आउटस्टैंडिंग उसकी पॉलिसीज हैं उसके ऊपर उसको नेट लाइबिलिटी जौन सी है वो कैलकुलेट करनी चाहिए है. This calculation, it is done by the experts which are called as the actuaries, and it is a highly complicated mathematical process. Nationalization से पहले this computation was done once in 3 years. Since nationalization, LIC is having such valuation once every 2 years. वो क्या करते हैं, वो लोग इस कैलकुलेशन को हर एक 2 साल में एक बार करवाते हैं. फिर हमारा नेक्स्ट कंपोनेंट है इंटरिम बोनस पेड. द बोनस कैन बी पेड इन कैश और द बोनस कैन बी इन रिडक्शन ऑफ द प्रीमियम्स. जो हमारी विथ प्रॉफिट वाली पॉलिसीज होती हैं, द पॉलिसी होल्डर गेट्स द अमाउंट स्पेसिफाइड इन द पॉलिसी प्लस द बोनस दैट इज डिक्लेयर्ड ऑन ईच वैल्यूएशन. ये वैल्यूएशन बैलेंस शीट में जब भी हमारा एक्सेस प्रॉफिट निकलता है तो इन दैट केस हम उनको प्रॉफिट शेयर करते हैं. यहाँ हम लोग कैश बोनस देने की बजाय हम क्या करते हैं, हम प्रीमियम को रिड्यूस कर देते हैं. एंड लास्ट सेक्शन ऑफ योर रेवेन्यू अकाउंट इज अबाउट द एप्रोप्रिएशन, विच इज़ द एप्रोप्रिएशन ऑफ सरप्लस दैट इज शोन. That means the amount that is to be transferred to a shareholder fund and other funds which are shown separately. The next main component of your insurance company accounts is the profit and loss account. अब ये प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट इज प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर कैलकुलेटिंग द ओवरऑल प्रॉफिट ऑफ द लाइफ इंश्योरेंस बिजनेस. All the expenses and incomes directly not related to any fund are taken into consideration. The income tax payable to government is also part of P&L account. The interim dividend paid, the proposed final dividend, the dividend distribution tax, etc. They are also shown in the appropriation section of P&L account. तो P&L अकाउंट का जो प्रॉपर फॉर्मेट है it has also been shared in the group with you, but we'll just understand what it has. P&L account, it shows all expenses and incomes relating to shareholders account. Income comprises of like your depreciation relating to assets held by the shareholder fund, your investment के related कोई भी हमारी income है. Then your expenses, you will have transfer of funds to policy holders fund, preliminary expenses written off, directors fund, interim dividend paid during the year, income tax payable to the government. So all these, they are shown in your P&L account. The third main component is the balance sheet. Again, the proper format to it has been sent to you in the group already. The balance sheet is prepared in a vertical format and consists of two sections. The upper section shows the sources of fund and the lower section shows the application of fund. So under the sources of fund, we have shareholders fund. It includes share capital and reserves and surplus, authorized share capital, issued share capital, subscribed, called up. They are shown separately under section schedule 5, which is your shareholders fund. Then we have reserves and surplus, wherein all the reserves and surplus are mentioned, like your capital reserve, capital redemption reserve, security premium, general reserve, balance of P&L account. This forms components of schedule 6. Then we have borrowings, like your debentures, fixed deposits, bank loan from financial institutions and other entities carrying on insurance business. They are shown under schedule 7, which is your borrowings. The borrowings which are secured and unsecured, they should be shown separately. Then we have policyholders fund, like your life insurance fund, pension or superannuation fund. They'll be shown under this heading. We have funds for future appropriation. If any fund is maintained for future appropriation, that will come under this heading. Under your application of fund, we have investments. The investments of shareholders fund and policyholders fund, they are to be shown separately. For both the cases, long term investment and short term investments, they are to be shown. The investment of shareholders fund is shown in schedule 8 and the investment of policyholders fund is shown in schedule 8A. Assets held to cover linked liabilities. Any of the assets which are held to cover the linked liabilities, they are shown separately under this head. Loans, they are supposed to be classified on the basis of security, their performance, maturity and the borrowers, and they will be shown under schedule 9. Fixed assets like the goodwill, plant and machinery, building, property, any IT equipment like your computers, networking equipment, software, vehicles, office equipment, they are shown under fixed assets, which form schedule 10. And then we have current assets like your cash and bank balance, advance and other current assets. The current liabilities and provisions, they are deducted from the current assets, and net current assets are shown in the balance sheet. And miscellaneous expenditure, it will include discount on issue of shares. They will be shown under your miscellaneous expenditures to the extent that are not written off or adjusted during the year. Apart from this, after this, we'll also have contingent liabilities. The liabilities which we are not sure about will arise. There are various schedules which form part of the financial statement of insurance business. The details to each and every schedule has already been shared in the group. Let's just look into the overview of the contents of each of these schedules. Schedule 1, which relates to the premium which is allocated in revenue account, wherein premium we have already discussed kya hota hai. Next we have commission expenses, commission which is paid to the agents, wherein we also have to add the commission on reinsurance that is accepted, and we also have to deduct the commission on reinsurance ceded. The net commission is written in your revenue account. The third schedule, it relates to operating expenses which relate to the business, like your training, rent, rates and taxes, the details to which we have already discussed. Then we have the schedule 4, which relates to the benefits paid net, which relate to the claims, the reinsurance claims, the surrender values, they all are included in your benefits paid. Schedule 5 is for the share capital, wherein we'll have your issued, subscribed, authorized and called up share capital. Schedule 5A will show the pattern of shareholding, wherein we have how many promoters which we have, the shareholders that we have are of Indian nationality or of foreign nationality, what is the amount of shares that is held by them, and what is their percentage of holding in that company. Schedule 6, it relates to the reserves and surplus, like your capital reserve, capital redemption reserve, P&L account balance, general reserve. They are shown in your Schedule 6. Schedule 7, it relates to the borrowings. That means your debentures, banks, financial institutions, from whomsoever we have taken, we have borrowed money. Schedule 8, it relates to the investments which is done out of the shareholders fund in the form of your securities, approved securities, shares, mutual funds, debentures, derivatives, short-term securities or long-term securities. They are supposed to be mentioned. Schedule 8A relates to the investment which is done out of the funds of the policy holders in long-term investments or in short-term investments. Schedule 8P relates to the assets which are held to cover the linked liabilities. The assets which are held to cover the liabilities which arise in the future, they can be long-term investment or they can be short-term investment. Schedule 9 relates to the loans that are advanced, like your they are supposed to be categorized on the basis of security, on the basis of borrowers, on the basis of the performance, on the basis of the maturity. Schedule 10 relates to the fixed assets that are held by the insurance company. Schedule 11 relates to the cash and bank balance. Schedule 12 relates to advances and other assets. Schedule 13 relates to the current liabilities of that company. And Schedule 14 relates to the provisions like your taxation, your proposed dividend. And Schedule 15, it relates to your miscellaneous expenditures to the extent that they are not written off or adjusted. This presentation is basically an introduction to the insurance business and a synopsis or a summary of the notes that have been already sent to you, the explanation of items that have been covered in your notes. Kindly go through the PDF because it will give you the exact formats, and for the explanation and better understanding you can come back to the presentation. The formats are very important. There might be a question in the final exams which says what do you mean by life insurance and how are their accounts maintained. So in that you will have to explain the formats and the schedules. Thank you for patiently listening.